Hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about demand. I'm going to try and explain it to the best of my ability for you guys. I'm going to be using the Economics 1A study guide from unisa. If you like this type of video and you want more content like this, then don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button and comment down below if you have any questions. Okay, let's start. The concept of demand means different things to different people. An economist attaches a particular meaning to it. An economist would define the demand for a good or service as follows. Demand is the quantities of a good or service that potential buyers are willing and able to purchase during a certain period. Okay, so the first aspect of the definition that you should note is that it refers to the quantities of a good or service. That is, how much of a good or service is demanded. We will use the symbol QD to denote quantity demanded. Potential buyers refers to the intentions of the buyers of the good or service and not what they actually do. Willing to purchase refers to the condition that you are willing to pay for it. If you want something and you have the means to pay for it, but you're not willing to pay the price for it, you are not part of the demand. I think it's supposed to say if you're not willing to pay the price for it, then you are not part of the demand for it. And then there's the important qualification that you must be able to purchase the good or service. Note here that the ability to pay for goods and services in turn depends on your income. So the higher the income of a person or a household, the more goods and services they can afford. We say that these people have the necessary purchasing power. So, to be part of the demand for a good or service, you must have the necessary purchasing power. And the last part of the definition deals with the time period. For demand to be meaningful, it is necessary for the time period to be stated as the quantity demanded per day, per week, per month, or so on. For instance, saying that the quantity of tomatoes demanded is 10 tons per week is significantly different from saying it is 10 tons per year. The main aspects of an economist's definition of demand are therefore as follows. It differs from needs and wants. It indicates willingness to purchase. It indicates ability to purchase, and it is for a specified period of time. Factors that determine the demand for goods. While there are many factors that influence the demand for goods and services, economists have identified the following as the most important. Tastes and preferences, represented by the symbol T. Income, represented by the symbol Y. The price of the product, represented by the symbol capital P, X. The number of potential buyers, represented by the symbol N. The price of related goods represented by the symbol capital P and a G. Substitutes, complements. Other factors such as the weather and expected prices also. I will go more in depth into how these factors affect the demand curve. So if you want to learn more about how these factors would affect the demand curve, then check that video out. Okay, assume you have $25 and you decide to buy 5 chickens at $5 per piece, and when you get to the shop the price is $6. Can you still buy 5 pieces for $5? No, you can't. Has your intention changed? No. You can no longer buy 5 chickens for $25, but that does not necessarily mean that the intention has changed. You may still need to buy 5 pieces of chicken at that price, and will have to keep looking around in the market for a willing seller. Okay, let's say I intend to buy 5 chickens at $5 per piece, and when I get to the shop it is sold out and I'm unable to buy any. Has my intention changed? Once again, no. So once again, your intention doesn't change. This is a very crucial point. As stated earlier in the definition of demand, here we are dealing with the intention of buyers and not the outcome in the market. I intend to buy a certain number of pieces of fried chicken based on my taste for it, its price, and my income. The fact that when I arrived at the fried chicken outlet they were sold out did not change my intentions. It did, however, change the outcome, in that I was not able to buy it to satisfy my want for it. Okay, now let's look at the demand equation. So the demand equation is capital Q D small d is equal to F in brackets T Y P X N and PG, and the 3 dots will represent the other things such as weather, etc. Okay. In words, the above equation states that the quantity demanded of a good or service, so quantity demanded is QD, is a function of, F will stand for function of taste and preference, which is T, income, which is Y, the price of the good and service, which is PX, the number of potential buyers, which is represented by N, the price of related goods, PG, and the other factors. This is what the 3 dots represent. The other factors are things such as weather, expected price, income distribution, and so forth. Our dependent variable is the quantity demanded. QD is the dependent variable, and it is influenced by the independent variables, such as T, Y, PX, N, and PG, of which there are more than 6. To analyze the impact of these independent variables on the quantity demanded, we will do it one by one, and the first one we will take a closer look at is the relationship between the price of a good and service, PX, and the quantity demanded. Okay, price and quantity demanded. we are going to investigate the relationship between Px, which is price, and Qd, which is quantity demanded. To analyze the importance of a change in the price of a good and service and the quantity demanded for it, we need to keep all the other factors that we have listed, such as income, preferences, weather, etc., the same by assuming that they remain unchanged. This relates to the Ceteris paribus assumption. Ceteris paribus is the Latin expression for everything else remaining the same. It is not possible to study the effect of a price change on the quantity demanded if the other factors change at the same time. If more than one factor changes, we would not know which factor causes a change in the quantity demanded. Let's look at an example. What do you think people do when the price of a good or service they use increases? Will they buy more of it, less of it, or the same amount? Well, we have to take into consideration the Ceteris paribus condition and ask yourself, what do you think the people will do when the price of a good or service they use increases, given that everything else remains the same? It is to this relationship between the price of a good or service and the quantity demanded that we now turn. Given that the Ceteris paribus condition holds, in terms of our demand equation, we put a bar on top of the other variables to indicate that they remain unchanged. So, all of these functions will remain unchanged, and only Px, which is the price, will influence the quantity demand. An increase in the price of a good or service will be shown like this, and will lead to a decrease in quantity demanded. So it leads to a decrease in quantity demanded and a decrease in a price leads to an increase in quantity demanded. This is known as inverse or negative. The opposite is also true. If one variable, in this case the price, goes up, the other variable will go down. The law of demand as a schedule. From the description of the law of demand, we know that if the piece of fried chicken pieces increases, the quantity of demand will decrease, and if the price of fried chicken decreases, the quantity pieces demanded will increase. Now, let's look at this table and what this information is showing us. In combination A, the prices of chicken are 7 Rand and the prices demanded per week is 2. As the price of chicken decreases, the quantity demanded is increasing. So from 7, there's only a 2 demand for it, and then at 1, when it's 1 Rand, the demand for it increases to 14. So this shows us the law of demand, that when a price is increased, prices increase, it leads to a decrease in quantity demand, and when a price decrease, like here the prices are decreasing, it will lead to an increase in quantity demanded. The law of demand as a demand curve. The demand curve is based on our demand schedule. The demand schedule is just a fancy word for the table of information that they provide with the price of the chicken and the quantity of chicken. Okay, so on our vertical axis, so this is your vertical axis, they give us the values of P, and on our horizontal axis they give you your values of QD, which will be your quantity demand. And basically what you do is you input like any other graph. So for 7 pieces of chicken, the quantity demanded was 2, and then for 6 pieces of chicken, the quantity demanded was 4. For 5 pieces of chicken, the quantity demanded was 6. And then you carry on, and then you come down that one piece of at 1 rand, the quantity demanded is 14. Now let's look at the slope of the demand curve. An important property of a demand curve is that it slopes downwards from left to right. This reflects the inverse or negative relationship between the price and the quantity demanded. This downward slope of the demand curve represents the law of demand. Let's look at our example of fried chicken pieces. As the price of fried chicken pieces decreases, the quantity demand increases. So it's decreasing, but the quantity demand is increasing. This downward movement along the demand curve causes a downward movement along the demand curve. And as the price of fried chicken increases, it will cause a decrease in demand, which will cause an upward movement on the demand curve. From individual demand to market demand. Suppliers are more interested in the market demand for the good or service, since the market demand gives them a better idea of the quantities they are expected to sell. Example, how much they need to produce. The market demand represents the total demand for a good or service during a certain period. That is, how much they need to produce in a certain time period. Example, a week, a month, etc. In the market system, the market demand is one of the fundamental forces that determine the market price of a good or service. To move from individual demand to market demand is quite simple. All that needs to be done is to add the individual demands together. Okay, let's look at this table as an example. So the price at 7 rand, so the quantity demanded by students is 2. The quantity demanded by the Kumalos is 4, and the quantity demanded by vendors is 6. So what you need to do here is just add all the quantity demanded. So 2 plus 4 plus 6 will give us 12. Look at the next one. At 6 rand a piece, the quantity demanded by students is 4, the quantity demanded by the Kumalos is 6, and the quantity demanded by vendors is 8. 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 8 is giving us 18. Now let's look at it here, the 2. So at 7 Rand, our quantity demanded now in the market is 12. So 7, quantity demanded is 12. At 6 Rand, the quantity demanded now is 18. And you keep doing that, and then let's just do the last one. At 1 Rand, the quantity demanded by students is 14, the quantity demanded by the commandos is 16, and the quantity demanded by the vendors is 18, and you're just going to add all of that and it's going to give you 48. So the quantity demanded in the market at 1 Rand is 48 pieces of chicken. Okay, that's it for this video. I don't want to make it too long, so I will be doing a part 2. In part 2, I will be covering more demand, especially what factors affect the demand curve and how they affect them. So if you want, please check that video out for more information on the demand curve. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more science and educational content. Thank you. Bye.